quote Darwin and his phylogeny. This period is about the work of Charles Darwin. The time period of Charles Darwin is 1809 to 1882, and he has studied various phenomena of distribution, variation, structure and adaptations, which caused him to think of evolutionary interpretation. Natural groups exist because the members of such a group had descended from a common ancestor. Darwin in 1859 published a summary of his ideas in his book Origin of Species Through Natural Selection. This theory of natural selection supported the idea of both Lamarck and Cuvier. The empirical taxonomists were greatly influenced by Darwin's work. They started searching for missing link between seemingly unconnected taxa and finally reconstructed the primitive ancestral. A large number of species were discovered and described. Darwin realized that two processes occur during phylogeny. These are branching and subsequent divergence. According to Darwin, the separation of taxa must be based on branching, but that in the ranking of these taxa into various categories due to consideration must be given to the different degree of modification which they have undergone. He proposed a number of empirical rules on how to discover taxonomically useful characters. They include the constant presence of the character in related forms, especially those were having different habits of life, and particularly a constant association of several characters. He also emphasized on missing link, for example, peripatus, Archaeopteryx, etc. These efforts lead to a far-reaching understanding of animal form and to the establishment of a natural system that is still considered essentially valid. Now, fifth period. Fifth period is also known as population systematics. In this period, we study the evolution within species, instead the study of evolution in higher category. In this period, the typological species concept was totally abandoned and replaced by a dynamic polytypic species concept. Species were no longer considered as something fixed and uniform, as said by Linnaeus, but rather as polytypic, consisting of many subspecies and local population, each differing from the others and each showing considerable variability within itself. Two factors are important: that the differences between subspecies and species are the total of very numerous small variation, and the second one is that most of the local and geographical variation were closely correlated with the environment. Hugo de Vries and Batson emphasized the role of large mutations and thought that they produced new species by a single step. They minimized the role of environment. The genetics expert began to appreciate extreme importance of small and very small genetic changes, and the concept of mutation was extended to include these. Fisher in 1930 demonstrated that even a very small selective advantage of a new gene or gene combination would cause in due time a genetic transformation of populations was an important contribution. Goldsmith, Summer, Dobzhansky combined taxonomy and genetics together and proposed a new prosperous branch of science, that is population genetics. The small variations are actually mutations. Then Meyer in 1942 defined the species as groups of interbreeding natural population. New terms like new systematics, which was given by Huxley in 1940, and another term that is biosystematics, which was given by Kemp and Gilly in 1943, were added to extend the taxonomic theory in modern era. According to J.S. Huxley's New Systematics, the purely morphological definition of a species have been replaced by a biological definition which takes ecological, geographical, genetical and other factors into consideration. The taxonomists were forced to believe that all organisms occur in nature as members of populations, and these cannot be studied and properly classified until they are treated as a sample of natural population. The taxonomists started moving from museum to the field to supplement the morphological characters with the various characteristics of the living animals, namely behavior, sound, ecology, genetics, geography, physiology and biochemistry. Thus, taxonomy got a new level, that is biological taxonomy. The population thinking of the new systematics was one of the major sources of population genetics, which in turn influenced the development of population systematics. Beside these, following are the other important works of this period. In 1900, the Mendel's work was rediscovered. In 1904, International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature, that is ICZN, was formed. In 1913, plenary powers were granted to the ICZN, and in 1942-1944, Systematics and the Origin of Species book was presented by Ernest Mayr. According to this book, taxonomists must study the process of speciation rather than just its Now, sixth period, that is current trends. The new systematics deals with almost exclusively with the species level. Macrotaxonomy made little conceptual progress from the 1970 to 1950. History of systematics creates interest among molecular biologists in problems of classification and the development of numerous molecular techniques for testing proximity of relationship. Comparative ethology, that is the branch of science that deals with the animal behavior, likewise has stimulated a deeper interest in taxonomy. Renewed examination of the whole theory of taxonomy was done by Simpson in 1961, Guttker in 1962, Mayr in 1965. Now in this period, the use of electronic computers and associated endeavors started to revive a nominalistic approach of taxonomy. The phylogenetic adaptations, embryological patterns, biochemical variations, genetic similarities, behavioral characteristics, etc., are all applicable to the taxonomic studies. Thank you.